Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Wednesday morning. So again, we're talking St. Louis Cardinals baseball as they get geared up to return to spring training in about a month. Still not able to get a trade worked out with one of their star players.
Nolan Arenado's about whom you're talking, and the problem, Mike, is not so much that Arenado can't play. He can. He's still very capable of playing all-star level baseball. It's the amount of money. It does not fit into the Cardinals' scheme of things, which is to rebuild from within and the youth movement and so forth and so on. But Arenado is owed $70 million by the Cardinals over the next 3 years, or the remaining part of his contract. Well, when he is dangled before the Boston Red Sox or the Detroit Tigers or whomever, they say, hey, that's great. How much of this are you going to pick up? And the Cardinals don't want to pick any of it up. They've lowered their standards now in terms of what they'd pay and told other clubs they'd pay $64 million. I beg your pardon. That's what the teams want, $64 million. Cardinals have offered up maybe 10 or something like that. Colorado Rockies already pay Arenado $5 million a year as part of it. And that's a common practice for the team that owns the players to pick up some of that original salary. Well, Cardinals don't want to, and there's the blocking point now with Arenado. He can still play, and more than likely, the way it's shaping up now, he'll put on a Cardinals uniform, not only in spring training, but for at least the early part of the season.
It's what you see all the time. Players, teams make gambles. They think someone's going to be this person. It doesn't end up working out, but you still made a deal, and you got to pay the person. Everyone else can see it for what it is. They don't want to eat that money. Someone's going to have to.
When you trade a player in any sport, you're trading his contract, and the contract calls for this. Therefore, the team that purchases that player, he has to pay the remaining part of the contract. $70 million over 3 years, that's a lot of money. And it has been done many times in the past where the selling team has absorbed some of that cost. It's up to the Cardinals to back off a little bit and take some of that money and use it for whatever, but unload a salary.
Tough to do. All right, let's talk golf now. The PGA is where in the country?
They are in Central California on the Monterey Peninsula, specifically the famed Pebble Beach Golf Course. This is the Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. Now, that is quite a ways from the fires. It's a little bit north of the real fire danger, and the fire danger has been greatly alleviated by rains. But the San Francisco area, which is where Pebble Beach is located, is not involved in that. This is a big tournament. The purse is $20 million for the winner. That means the individual will pick up $3,600,000. So all the big names will be playing. And one of the big stars in this one is Mr. Scheffler, who will make his debut. He hasn't played. He had a hand injury over the Christmas holidays. And this is the one in which he'll make his 2025 debut. And why not? He's the number one golfer in the world. But the Pebble Beach National Pro-Am is the old Crosby clam bake from many, many, many years ago. And all the stars, the movie stars are there, the TV stars, and they all play as part of the amateurs. But, hey, it's a big deal for the pros, too. When you can pocket $3,600,000 for one tournament to win, that says something.
Probably help old Scotty after having to take the month off for messing up his hand, probably with the broken whiskey glass. We haven't talked St. Louis Blues hockey in a while, and it's probably for a good thing because they're not having a great season.
We periodically check on them down here. They're one game under the 500 mark. They've won 23, lost 24, and they have 4 ties. But right now, their points accumulation, that's what they do in the National Hockey League. You get 2 points for a win and no points for a loss unless it's in a shootout. And then you get 1 point for the losing team. But any over and above that, the Blues have accrued 50 points right now, and that right now would not make the Stanley Cup playoffs.
No.
So they've got to get hot. They've got to get searing, as a matter of fact, to take over some of these teams, and we'll see what happens.
Jets and Capitals right now are already at 73 points, just to give you some perspective. Doesn't happen too often, but you got to take them when you get them. Corporate America might be leaning over and giving up to us normal on the ground people.
I am absolutely personally loving this. This is great, I think. For many, many years, the public has complained about the fact that the NCAA National Tournament Championship game in April, that's seen all across the country, starts too late. It's 8:20 Central Time, 9:20 on the East Coast, and the complaints have been there. But oh no, corporate America sitting in its big leather chairs and the ratings are good, so let's not fix it. Guess what? The ratings ain't so good. Last year, 2 years ago, it plunged from 22 million to 14 million. And it was that last year as well, 14 million. That light bulb goes on in the big shots' heads. And they go, what have we done? Maybe we should have listened to them. All right, not only maybe, they should have. Corporate America doesn't listen to the public, us down here, and our griping and complaining. They are moving the start of the game. Starting this year, April of 2025, the championship game will start Central Time, 10 minutes until 8 o'clock. That's 7:40, and on the East Coast, of course, it'll be 8:40. That's when the telecast itself will start, and the tip-off at 10 to the hour. That lessens many of the complaints. The big shots will, now see what we did for you. Yeah, when somebody's about to kick your fat behinds, that's what happens. I love it. I love it.
Like I said, you get them where you can. All right. Speaking of getting them when they can, the Bears got to win big time tonight.
They play in Terre Haute, Indiana, against the Indiana State Sycamores, and the Bears haven't won. I think everybody knows that now. They have not won a conference game this year. They're 0-10 on a 10-game losing streak. This is the ball club that started that streak back in early December when they played here. Indiana State beat the Bears. Well, time for a little shifting of gears and maybe pay them back and get back to winning again. It's not a bad Bears team, not at all. They're just not together, and as a result, they're not playing really cohesive basketball, and that's what's costing them. They have the talent. Gonzo Martin knows they have the talent, and somewhere along the line, and maybe tonight, they'll come up with a win.
It'd be great to have them stop that losing streak against the team that started it, for sure. Last but not least, any other scores that happened on the court yesterday that was of note?
Yes, the KU Jayhawks had another dandy. Now, keep in mind now, they have never lost 4 in a row home games since 1988, I think it was. Well, they were on the verge last night playing Central Florida, but Kansas came back and won 91-87 in an absolute dandy. Kentucky and Tennessee, two of the great Southeastern Conference rivals. Kentucky goes to Knoxville and beats the Tennessee Volunteers 78-73. Oklahoma fell to Texas A&M, and in the Missouri Valley Conference, Southern Illinois goes to Indiana and beats the Valparaiso Beacon 79-75.
Ned, you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Thursday.